Okay, everybody, welcome back to the Lech Dech Musar podcast. We continue with Pele Yoeitz, page 336 in the Art Scroll. We are on day 129 of Hachzik. The last piece today, we're about to finish Ois Beis. We will learn the topic of Bidika, which means inspection of fruits, etc. It's an obligation for us to investigate thoroughly and identify any possible prohibitions that may be present in any given situation, in order that we don't unknowingly stumble in regarding those things, those situations. This is very prevalent in regards to the Issur of Teloim, worms, which Rabba Machshela, the machshel is tremendous. There are many fruits and vegetables that are infested with these worms. And people aren't careful, they're not vigilant, and they consume these foods without prior inspection. The same thing with vinegar, that to the naked eye you can't see the bugs in them, but when you see it through the sun, the light of the sun, then you see there's literally bugs and insects that are swarming in the vinegar. The only eitzah in order to eradicate the teloim from the vinegar is to boil it, and then to sift it, and then again to boil it, and to keep on repeating the process. And the same thing is regarding berries, particularly strawberries and mulberries, that there are worms inside that cannot be found and removed properly with methods of any type of inspection. And says the Pele Yoeitz, V'yira shamayim yinag b'hem Issur legamri v'chein kasvei she'shamayim lo yochal yorach chai akruv kavosh afila yedei bedika kosh kebli bedika shel Issur gomer. Says the Pele Yoeitz, which is something that maybe people have adapted today. They don't eat strawberries at all because it's impossible to really be baidik them. Now, obviously, the companies like Bodek, and this is written in the Times 200-300 years ago, so this isn't really so relevant. This was in Spain, where the Pele Yoeitz was from, and unless you're living in Spain, and pretty much these days we have Bodek, and we have ways of different hachsherim and different machines to check with lights and all different types of gadgets, v'chulu. But the notion that some people have adapted, they don't eat, corn or strawberries, it's precedented, it's brought down. And even if you could check it, but there's a certain perspective, there's a certain mindset which shouldn't be disparaged, which shouldn't be looked down upon, certainly because these are real Issur, as we're going to see. How many Issur a person can get in one fell swoop. The Svarim cry a bitter cry over this. A person would never eat meat that wasn't slaughtered, that wasn't shechted, or pork. If a person gave all the money in the world, would he eat pork? No. Why? Because it's pork, right? Would he eat nevela? Would he eat a piece of meat from McDonald's? No way. McDonald's me? I would never, right? So it says the Pele Yoeitz, typish. Eating treif, even if you said it was checked, then don't worry. If there's any sort of suffix, if it's pork, if it's not shecht, if it's nevela, we would never come near it. We would run as fast as we can. Even if a person bribed us, we would say it's chazer. Well, people went through the Holocaust not to eat meat and nevelas and pork was and their life depended on it, but they wouldn't entertain even putting it into their mouths. They would die. They would fade away. They would not to encounter such an Issur. Says the Pele Yoeitz, if you make the cheshbon, when you eat a piece of chazah, there's one lav. When you eat a nevela, there's one lav. When you eat a worm, there's 4 lavin. And when you eat an insect, when you eat an ant or any flying insect, there are 5 isurim. So, a person who is not vigilant and he just eats things and he doesn't check it, a person can be eating hundreds of worms in a moment. A person is being over is transgressing mounds and mounds of Issurim in one eating, in one consumption. Rak mid zihira, simply because of lack of vigilance. You should have checked it, or you shouldn't have eaten it. And when it comes to pork, a person never do it, but a strawberry, like what's so bad? A strawberry is infested, even these days, even in America. And if we're not buying bodek, we're not buying the right things, we're not checking, we're being over on tile tilim, mounds and mounds of Isurim. Person has to be very vigilant regarding these matters, even if it's not spoken about like chazer treif. Every kid knows you can't eat chazer treif, but a strawberry, I don't know, you check it, this, that. We are Yidden, we're the Jewish nation, and we are inherently holy, and we always want to live by that. We always want to be held on that madrega of holiness, of sanctity, of purity. So yes, people make mistakes and they're not aware, but it's very important. But a person should be vigilant, and a person who does so from these Isurim, they will shine like the radiance of the Rakia. A person who they find it hard and they're not aware of this, but hopefully with this year we'll be able to be ma'or the rabbin based on the Pele Yoeitz, that a person really has to be careful not to eat their 5 Isurim. And when you eat a sheretz, when you eat a worm, and 4 when you eat an insect, a person has to really be careful. We have to spread awareness about this, about not eating fruits and vegetables that weren't checked. And when we do that, and with that, we conclude Ois Beis, and with the ending off with this, we should be zeichet Hashem's bracha of those that abstain and those that are vigilant in this Issur of eating chas v'shalom bugs, tailaim, and only eating things that are kosher, that are only checked, and with that we will remain on the level of sanctity, kedusha, and Torah.